On this episode, we review our stay at Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground and a fifth wheel from Camper Rental Adventures. Today is August 9th, 2022. This is episode 485 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MainSTMagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you would like a free month from our friends at Mouse Dining, who remove the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time, you can visit msmfriends.com and use code MSMFREE when you sign up for their service, and the first 20 listeners will get a free month. Then if you're getting ready to plan that next Disney or Universal vacation, looking to go on a cruise, or pretty much travel anywhere else in the world, head to mainstmagictravel.com and fill out a form for a free quote. Our travel services are completely free to you. We're just 6 months out from our Main Street 16 Challenge weekend, February 2nd through 5th, 2023. Current room blocks are available. Wyndham Lake Buena Vista is offering about 40% off the normal rate and half-priced resort fee. Head to mainstreet16.com and go ahead and book your room and sign up to let us know you're coming that weekend.
So today we are going to talk all about our weekend stay at Fort Wilderness in this giant, beautiful fifth wheel of a camper.
Yeah. Like literally we just got back
a
couple hours ago. It's always so weird to me. I don't know why. I know that we're close. I know that we're only 2 hours away, but it's always just weird to me when I'm sitting here at 2:48 p.m. and thinking about how we woke up at Fort Wilderness in Disney World just this morning. And now we're already home and we've unpacked and we went to Costco and we're recording. Like, it's just so strange to me. We're very, very blessed because of that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we're 2 hours away, that we can wake up and we always tend to head out and, come home first thing in the morning because we can then still have a full day before, our regular week
just think
starts
when you
tomorrow.
make me stay another night and I have to go to work and I literally tell clients, I was in Disney this morning.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what?
And now you're doing their hair.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
yeah, we're going to talk all about Fort Wilderness. Summing up with this trip, because we did from Camper Rental Adventures, we got this incredible Arctic Wolf fifth wheel camper.
Mm-hmm.
We'll dive into a little bit more about that. We'll talk more about Camper Rental Adventures and all. I feel like this capped off every possible way of how you can stay at Fort Wilderness, because now
100%.
What have we accomplished?
We have stayed
with Fort Wilderness.
I was just
stays?
telling a client this the other day. We have stayed 5 different ways.
Yeah.
So we have stayed in a tent multiple times.
Yep.
We then moved to a pop-up that we owned, stayed multiple times. We have rented an RV that we drove. That was only one time.
Yeah, through Cruise America was that one.
We have stayed in a cabin.
Yep.
And now the 5th and final one is renting a camper through a company that they actually bring it to your site. They set it up. They do everything. So coming to Fort Wilderness is kind of like staying in a hotel room.
Yeah.
You drive up to your site. Everything's there. It's open and it's amazing. And we'll get into that more.
Yeah. And we'll dive actually right into it here pretty much now. I mean, I'll go through a few things real quick. So what you're looking at doing is you are calling or you're booking Fort Wilderness, hopefully through Chuck with Main Street Magic Travel.
Yes.
And you're going to book and pay Disney for your Fort Wilderness stay.
Correct.
We had the campsite that we had there. They offer everything from tent and pop-up camping sites, which are very specific what you're allowed to put on them. Camper Rental Adventures does have some that will go on that site. They are smaller.
But you don't have a sewer hookup.
Yeah, you have electric and you've got, your
water.
cable and water and all that, but you do not have sewer for those. So your price ranges are going to run for Disney anywhere from $74, and then they're usually going to go up and top out around $200. You're looking in the 300s or so for cabins. But yeah, our site per night, I think, came out about $165.
Okay.
So you're going to go ahead and get the site. Then you're going to contact Camper Rental Adventures, and you can find them at camperrentaladventures.com. And you are going to want to do this because this is the most fun and unique way that I think you can do Disney. And they have campers that sleep everywhere from 4 people up to what we had technically sleeps like 9 people.
And not to mention, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt you now. They not only do campers, but they do actual golf carts, which are super fun, super cool, super themed. And you can rent that if you even have your own. Like my girlfriend, they have their giant camper that they bring the drive. They tow a giant, awesome Jeep behind it, but they wanted a golf cart and they didn't want to tow theirs as well. So they rented from Camper Rentals.
Yeah, just the golf cart.
Just the golf cart.
Yeah, do same thing if you're in a cabin.
100%.
These run $69.99 a night. They're often running deals, though. I also highly, highly, highly recommend that you go find Camper Rental Adventures on Facebook and follow them. They are constantly sharing deals. If you do not see a deal, give them a call or reach out to them. Let them know Main Street Magic sent you, and they are going to give you a little deal for us referring them over to you. So yeah, golf carts are about $70 a night.
Okay.
Through Disney, I think they come all in to about the same price.
I thought it was 80.
Oh, are they? No, that's for the 6-seater. I think they're around $65 a night plus tax for a 2-seater. Okay. They come in around 80, or for a 4-seater, I should say. They come in around 80 for a 6-seater.
Okay. I don't remember, really.
Even with the price being pretty much the same at Disney as it is with Camper Rental Adventures, to be honest, I would much more recommend Camper Rental Adventures.
Oh, 100%.
Availabilities might be a little easier sometimes. Disney sell out fast. You're supporting a wonderful small business. They are a small business owned by an awesome family who have created this, just to me, is one of the smartest business ideas ever. And if you get something like the one we had, first of all, like Rhonda said, they're all themed. So our friends had a Buzz Lightyear one.
Yep.
We had a Little Mermaid themed one.
Yep.
That even had an extra installed speaker and a remote that played 4 different sounds. Played Under the Sea. What was the other one?
Part of this world.
Yeah,
was part of the world.
Yeah, it played that, and
Crush,
then it had a Crush sound
and Dory
sound, and you could press these, and it blasted them. And Rhonda was so
very
tired
loud.
of me doing it, but I loved it.
Very, very, very loud.
They're just a lot of fun because here's the thing: if you rent the Disney ones, they're great, and we highly recommend you get a golf cart if you're staying at Fort Wilderness, no matter how you're staying.
Yeah,
you need a golf cart to get around.
Yeah.
But you'll get so many compliments, and people just like, I love that golf cart, or they have these wonderfully themed carts, and they're all painted. And again, it's just everything is Disney too. So, for example, the camper we stayed in is called Belle. Belle, and I love also there's a Beauty as well.
And I'm gonna go ahead and we'll talk about that before we get too much into everything. Taco saying hello, everybody.
He missed us.
They did. Because we did not bring them. I do believe
you can bring animals in some of these campers.
I do believe this one was so new that we couldn't. I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but just ask with them, and if you need to bring,
because next time we will. I would like to bring at least Jules, because she wouldn't bark at everybody. She'd have fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was going back to
tell them real quick, because I was talking about cost of the site. What is free at Fort Wilderness that is no longer offered free at any other Disney resort?
Oh, self-parking. Yeah. Which makes sense because you do have a camper.
For sure.
That you're pulling and you have a car. But it is super nice. You are allowed 2 cars at the site. No more.
Yeah.
And if that, you have to park up front. We almost didn't have enough room for Jeremy's car, which we could have just stopped right up front and then dropped it off.
Yeah.
But we didn't, and it was fine. We made room.
Yeah, we had no issues. And technically, you're supposed to have 1 per site because they want your car to be fully on the pad, the concrete pad. So technically, the way that I was parked, which was half pad, half kind of like gravel, dirt, was not technically supposed to be allowed. No. But we didn't have any issues. We had actually at one point talked to a real nice security guard, Ron, because we had our friends Athena and David come visit us Friday night. And when they came in at the front, the person checking them in basically just said, they had our site number and all, they said, go to the site. So we had 4 cars and a 5th wheel, all fit within where they're technically supposed to fit. And Ron just let us know, can't have 4 cars on the site. He goes, technically you're not supposed to have 2, but it's okay. And he let us leave our 2. So we let them take theirs up front. But free parking.
Yeah.
No longer get that at Disney resorts. So that part
cool.
is super nice. Also, what's really cool is that this is the 3rd oldest Walt Disney World resort behind Contemporary and Polynesian.
Right.
This opened November 19th, 1971. In fact, it almost kind of technically opened earlier because a lot of the people, construction workers that were working on the Magic Kingdom, Contemporary and Polynesian, actually stayed and camped at Fort Wilderness.
Like with their own campers, or
I'm not sure. I don't know if Disney brought stuff
cabins.
in. No, because I don't believe the cabins opened in 1971. I do not believe so. I could be wrong. All right, let's talk more about camper rental adventures.
Okay.
These campers, as we said, you're going to pay for Disney's site. You're going to then contact Camper Rental Adventures. You're going to say, I have a site. I'd like to rent a camper. You can rent campers anywhere from $130 to up to $260 a night.
Okay.
Is the charge for those based on size, obviously.
Right.
As I said, they are constantly running deals.
Yeah.
Or just let them know that Main Street Magic sent you. So when you really look at it, ours running at top end $260. It's usually a minimum of 4 nights during a moderate season. So again, those prices can fluctuate throughout the year. You could pay about $140 for a site. You could pay up to $260 for this giant 5th wheel camper, which we slept 6 very comfortably in. Rhonda can tell you more about the layout and all. So you're looking at $400 a night, which is very low end deluxe resort. But what all additional do you get? Because we could not have gone and stayed at most any Disney hotel rooms with 6 people. The girls each brought a friend with them.
Right.
You can't even do a Caribbean 5th sleeper or Port Orleans or anything. You're looking at now getting into
2 rooms,
1 bedrooms, 2 bedroom, or getting 2 full rooms.
Correct.
All of a sudden, let's just say we said we're going to do Pop Century, and we found it for $200 a night. We'd have to get 2 rooms, so we're at $400 anyway.
Right.
Right. But what else do we get with this incredible experience of renting a camper from Camper Rental Adventures?
Well, you get, I guess depending on the size of the camper, we got a nice size that we were able to sleep all of the girls and let them bring a friend. But technically, we could have slept more, which is crazy to me.
We could have fit 3 more.
But amazing. But amazing.
It's insane. Well, and the biggest part, all right, DVC, big upside of DVC is being able to get like a 1 bedroom or bigger and having a full kitchen, right?
Right.
If we drop $400 a night, we got some crazy good deal on Poly or something. First of all, again, can't have 6 people.
Correct.
We also don't have a kitchen.
Right.
And we cooked every meal except for one at the campground.
Right.
Breakfast, lunch, dinners.
Yep.
In fact, we were able to have Athena and David over Friday night. We now have 8 people who were in the camper at one point. We have the entire outdoor area.
Yep.
Camper Rental Adventures is also going to provide 4 chairs.
Yep.
You can get some additional items such as bikes you can actually rent. You can rent a fire pit. You can get grills, tabletop griddles, propane grills, hammocks, canopies, s'mores kits, all this stuff you can get in addition.
Oh, maybe we should have gotten a s'more kit. Just because we bought them up, but that was fun.
And they're a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So talk about the layout of this camper and how well it fit, because we also got an entire extra half bath, which was very much needed when you got 6 people.
Yeah.
Right?
And 5 girls.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was super fun because Jeremy, when we were going to do this, he showed me what we were renting. And, the girls' ages now, 12 and 14, I hate to say it like this, and I know they love us dearly, but they don't want to do anything with just us. They want friends and stuff.
And they want their own space.
Yes.
Which you don't get in a regular hotel room.
Correct. And unless we do the 2 rooms, and we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that coming at some point.
Yeah. Maybe do that next year at some point and say, all right, girls, you each get to invite a friend again.
Yeah.
We're going to go do a steak. But see, that's the other thing.
You have to find a staycation.
You need a good staycation place, and Fort Wilderness is a perfect staycation place.
It really is.
You're not going to go do a staycation at Pop Century.
Yeah.
And we're saying staycation because our girls don't have annual passes anymore.
Right. And the friends.
Cassidy or Kendall, who you brought. Now, they have Universal ones. We could certainly do a trip where we get 2 rooms at Universal.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But heck, at that point, we're not going to get 2 rooms. We're going to get the 2 bedroom, air quote, at Endless Summer.
That's true.
And the girls share a bed, and
Right.
you and I have our own private space. So sorry to interrupt. Go ahead and talk about the layout of the camper and also what Camper Rental Adventures provides. This is where this is a huge advantage over what we did with Cruise America.
Yeah.
Cruise America did not come outfitted with bedding towels. So what all do we get in here?
Well, again, like I said in the beginning, we get a lot because it's like a hotel. You just come up to it and it's fully furnished. You
could show up with simply your clothes and your overnight stuff. Now we brought a little extra because we did bring a bag of food and stuff. But
well, and we also brought pool towels for the pool at Fort Wilderness, and we did. Let's see, what else did I feel like?
We bought a bag of games because we knew it was going to be super hot, and we thought if it's either way too hot to be outside, or we get these Florida storms and we're stuck inside for a bit. I brought a bunch of board games, but you would not technically have to do that. I mean, this is one seriously. If you were coming for a weekend and you're doing 3 or 4 nights or whatever, you pack your carry-on suitcase. If you're flying in, you got your overnight bag or your personal item. You get to the MCO, you hop in an Uber or a cab or whatever. They drop you off at Fort Wilderness, and you walk into this just like you're walking into a hotel room.
Yeah,
except you get so much more.
Yeah, it was really cool. We did bring a few other things, but here, let me just say, what is not only is every bed. All the beds are made and pillows and
I mean even provided pillows,
like extra blankets,
even decorative pillows, like to sit on the couch.
Yeah, and I even brought a blanket, but blankets. I looked in one of the closets, extra blanket because there's 2 ACs in there, and it was nice that we could turn it down. Pretty cool.
It super cold.
So there's bedding for every guest. There's a bath towel and face cloth for every guest. Hand towels, toilet paper because they want you to use. It's a camper.
You have to use camper-approved toilet paper.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna catch yourself in a stinky situation.
Okay. Hand soap, kitchen towels, toaster, coffee pots and filters, which this actually had a Keurig, which was super cool and super cute, like cut out of a Mickey and with an M in the, like a Mickey head and an M in the middle. And then that's where they put all the pods. And it was super cool because I guess because of the kids, they had some
hot chocolate.
Thank you. I'm like,
yeah.
And then electric griddle, frying pan, saucepan, cooking utensils. There was paper and plasticware. We actually got some more because we kind of used those a little quick.
Yeah. But they also had regular standard silverware utensils
and
a full knife block
and a full not full, but bowls and plates.
Oh yeah.
That you just had to wash.
Little mason jar mugs, cups, plastic cups, like again, fully outfitted,
paper
even down
towels,
to
trash bags, Dawn and a sponge. What was super cool too is Jeremy did bring some chairs, but they provide 4 camping chairs and this nice patio rug that says like happy campers, and it was super, super cool.
And again, you show up and the 4 chairs are all popped out and set up outside. The slide outs are already done. In fact, we walk in, everything and there's signage like welcome to our camper and stuff and set up there right on the table. And there were some things in the kids' little room, like some bubbles and some stickers and all kinds of stuff and an Uno game. And even in the bathroom, in the full bath, because this does have 1.5 bath.
Yep.
So the half bath is a toilet and sink. Yep. But it also connects to the outside as well as inside. It's a second door.
Yeah.
Which is super nice if like kids are all coming back from the pool and they're wet or they're a little bit dirty and you're like, hey, clean yourself off in here.
Yep.
Then outside of our bedroom, which had a queen bed, lots of storage. I mean, we unpacked our suitcase.
Well, because we just didn't felt like we had room, and then it was just easier.
But even in our bathroom then was a box that had a set with like a toothbrush and like floss and some shampoo, conditioner, soap. So again, it's like showing up to a hotel, but you get so much more out of it. Yeah, I mean, I said to all of you, I asked the girls, I was like, what would you rather do again?
Yeah, this was funny.
This or the cabin? And all 3 of you said this, the camper. And we had so many people, I was posting this out on social media, and so many people that either A, were like, I already have this book. We had 2 people that already have Belle booked in
that's
August,
super cool.
which is amazing. And you're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like this. And then several people that are like, I've always thought about this. What do you think? You know, and then people that were like, I had no idea this existed.
Oh, it's so cool.
And then when you leave, you text them and say, we left. You take out the trash,
Yeah.
wipe some stuff down, make it look
clean all
good.
the dishes.
Yeah,
I
wash your
wiped stuff
dishes.
down, and also there does come with a broom and dustpan. I swept everything out. It didn't have the only thing it didn't like, because they also ask, like, you know, this when you first walk in, like Jeremy said, the paper kind of read like if you take the awning out, you can, but you know, don't leave it out when you're not there. And basically, like, if it breaks,
It's a lot of money. Yeah, you're going to be responsible for that.
You're responsible.
And here's a big issue with awnings in Florida, and we had this issue when we had our pop-up.
Yep.
Is that when these storms come through that you're not expecting, if you're not at the site and that water starts to pool on that awning, by
it's
pool
awful.
as in Pool,
Yeah.
like the water starts to collect in the awning if you don't have it angled properly or you've got a little dip, whatever. And that becomes extremely heavy, and it will tear that thing down.
Yeah.
And awnings are
100%.
super expensive. So you definitely want to make sure that you put that, you know, in. But, you know, here we were in daytime. Feels like temperatures of over 100 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Kids did the pool a lot. We
didn't at all.
No, we didn't. We thought we were going to on Friday, and we just didn't. But in the evening, they also provided a box fan, which is you're going to need outside if it's hot. We brought as well, which you would not have to do because they did have the box fan, but we brought our 2 fans as well that we put on either side of us while we're sitting outside for cross breeze.
We still weren't sure. This was our first
Yeah.
time doing this.
I know.
So, you know, Jeremy was like, okay, well, we probably will sit out. So let's go ahead and bring the fans.
Yeah.
And then again, we walk up and we're like, holy crap, look at this. And super cool too. Because when we pull up, you know, first of all the camping chairs are sitting out. There was an outdoor kitchen area that Jeremy was super excited about. That is already open and like looking like you can use it and ready to go. The box fan was out, like I said, the chairs and the mat that said Happy Campers. And then this awesome sidewalk chalk.
Oh, yes. This
That-
was so cool.
Basically like welcomed us, and then they left it so the girls could totally play with it. And it was this huge 18 piece,
Yeah.
like it was huge. It was awesome.
Yeah. One of the big things at Fort Wilderness is chalk. And a lot of times people even go, they'll post in you got to go join the scavenger hunt groups.
Yeah,
they're
was super
amazing.
fun.
I'll let Rhonda talk about that in a second. But one of the big things you'll see is join all the Fort Wilderness groups. There's a magical guide one run by our friend Tammy. Those magical guide groups are absolutely incredible. But a lot of times people put in there like, you know, maybe it's my daughter's birthday. Chalk is out at site 1607, and people will come by on their golf carts and they'll like draw something for you on your site, or you do it yourself. I mean, y'all 5 ladies all sat there last night drawing with chalk.
Yep, it
Talking
was
about
fun.
a 43-year-old woman and 4 teens from 12 to 15 years old are there having fun with chalk.
Yeah.
You don't get that anywhere else.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
And then so you walk in, and like Jeremy said, it was just super cool. And then so you have this little sheet that basically says some things, and it did say to please take your shoes off in the front.
Yeah.
Which
Because otherwise
was
you're just going
fine.
to drag dirt and stuff all through there.
Right. So, but there's no like carpet or anything throughout, which is fantastic.
What did we get?
So I was like, in any type of, when you have a camper place, there's always a camp store near. And of course, Fort Wilderness not only has 2 stores, but of Disney stuff and stuff they sell, but they also have a small section of camping stuff. Like they have hoses, they have all kinds of something break. They have all kinds of stuff that if you need something for your camper.
If you're in more of an emergency situation, or you don't have a car on property, if you have a car on property, and all of a sudden you realize, oh no, and this is just camping in general. You have your own camper and you realize, oh no, the hose for the water hookup has a hole in it.
Yeah.
I would take the extra time to go find a Walmart or something, because obviously Disney's going to charge you about twice as much for that hose.
But it's still there.
I spent $6.50 on a regular sized block of cheese. I'm like, come on. So you don't want to get your food goods from here. But there is plenty of souvenirs and merchandise
Yeah.
that you
But
certainly
they
could
still
get.
have it. So,
And so what'd you get?
Well, I went to look because I was like, if we just put like a little rug right here. Well, we were on a pad that was not only paved, but then it was just gravel around. And Fort Wilderness, I always feel like when you're definitely staying on that area and not the tent sites, it's so much cleaner and you don't get as dirty. So
I don't feel like we just got back from a camping trip.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to shower before we go to our friends tonight for dinner, but I don't feel like I have to, if that makes sense.
That
and
makes
it
sense.
was brutal
yeah,
outside. It's actually, I think it's hotter here today in St. Augustine than it
does
was in
feel like it.
Orlando all
I know.
weekend. Ugh.
But anyway, so they had this cute big pool towel that said Fort Wilderness, and I was like, I love it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna lay it just right down in the very front, so when we walk in, that's where our feet can be kind of wiped in. And I was like, and I can wash it for one. It'll be a pool towel. This is fantastic. I love pool towels. So
We do have a pretty good collection of pool towels.
We do.
Disney-related pool towels.
yeah, and that's what I'm trying.
This might be my new favorite one.
It is
The
super
Typhoon Lagoon Stitch one was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good size towel. This is bigger than I feel like your standard pool towel.
Okay.
I think, maybe.
I don't
I'll
know.
have to compare.
Yeah.
I said this to Ron. I don't know what it is, and this goes for any campground. There's something about a camp store that is unmatched anywhere else I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like there's something about
The
walking
smell.
in, to the Fort Wilderness store than there is any other gift shop anywhere on property.
Yeah.
I can't like explain it.
Yeah.
Thursday night again, we're talking a lot staycation because there is so much to do here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got movies under the stars every night. You've got the campfire sing along, which is
Mhm.
back.
Yep.
Chip and Dale.
Yep.
And
They
you
come out
actually,
and you
you
get to see 'em.
you have food trucks.
Yeah.
Every
Super
Tuesday and
cool.
Wednesday, they have a bunch of food trucks at Pioneer Hall. But most every night by the campfire sing along, they have a food truck.
Yeah.
Whose food truck was there Thursday evening?
What is it called? Fat ones.
Fat Ones. It's Joey Fatone's, which Fatone spells out Fat One. And so he used to have one in the mall, a place
Okay.
called Fat Ones. It's a hot dog place.
Okay.
And now I guess he has a food truck. So I had the bright idea for research purposes to go ahead and get a hot dog.
It was all research, but I didn't even taste it.
This thing was delicious.
Well, and
This is
back
like
to
a pound hot dog.
oh my goodness. Before you say all that, back to we cooked every night. We had vacation grocery delivery.
Yes, please
groceries.
talk about them because I know we have in the past.
Yeah, it was super awesome. We went. It's super easy. Went and got our groceries from the front. Yeah, and so it was just awesome. Why don't you tell them a little bit more about them though, and why we love them so much?
Yeah, so Vacation Grocery Delivery is owned and run by our two new friends, Jessica and Landon.
Yep.
They are former cast members. They were characters, and they
Super
are
cool.
yeah, they're so much fun to talk to. We are going to have them on an episode to talk about their time as Disney cast members. Of course, this little thing came COVID. A little thing called COVID came along. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. And a lot of cast members were laid off or furloughed, and they needed to find something else to do. So they started Vacation Grocery Delivery. So number one, they employ laid off and former cast members only. Those are all their shoppers. That's everybody that works for them. We had an awesome shopper, Bobby, who actually used to be Crush in the Finding Nemo show
Super
at
cool.
Animal Kingdom, which is really cool. So number one, again, just like Camper Rental Adventures, you're supporting a small business and you're
100%.
supporting a local business. You're supporting former cast members that were creating magic for years and
Yep.
maybe even created some for you. If you were in the Walt Disney World parks or you've done a Disney cruise line and you might have seen Landon as Flynn Rider.
Yep.
So you're supporting small business. Second, they do not upcharge on the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
If something is $3.99 at Publix, they're charging you $3.99. They're not doing what Instacart and Shipt and these other places do and all of a sudden making that $4.99.
Right.
One set delivery fee with no minimum. And they're super duper easy to use. Just like any other grocery service. Bobby was texting me the whole time while he's shopping. They're out of this specific item. Is it okay if I replace it with this item instead? You basically, you can book online right now, vacationgrocerydeliveryfl.com. You can book for your future stay. Then just 3 days ahead of time, you basically send them a typed out grocery list and they go shop. You can be as specific as you want. I was very specific, or you can be broad. You can just say eggs, They will get you, if you just put something like eggs, bread, whatever, they will get you the Publix brand because they know it's going to be the best priced. You go ahead and pay the delivery fee. They deliver it to your resort. They give it to Bell Services. Bell Services will keep your items cold that need to be cold. They'll keep everything else packed up, ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
You go pick it up when you need to be, or whenever you need to. And then Vacation Grocery Delivery will send you an invoice that you go ahead and just pay.
Yep.
And again, no upcharges. I mean, we spent $150 on the groceries. If we had gone through Instacart or shipped, and again, we can put the fees aside, guarantee it would have been $200 just for the groceries. You know, we probably would have seen a $50 or so markup. So the fact that they're not doing that is outstanding. So highly, highly recommend, you know, even if you just think, especially when you're like flying in and you're like, I need to get snacks for the room. I want breakfast for the room. I want whatever.
Drinks.
But yeah, Thursday night, they have an outdoor griddle in the outdoor kitchen area. It's got a nice size fridge, a sink, and then your outdoor griddle. I did burgers on the griddle. Super good. Friday night, we had Athena and David over. Actually brought our crock pot. And I did chicken in the crock pot, and then we cooked ground beef, and we did a taco night. Yep. Saturday, we had picked up a frozen pizza, and we pretty much cooked that for the girls. But we're going to do this on the next episode. We're not going to talk about it now, but where did you and I eat dinner Saturday evening?
Hoop-de-doo review.
All right, we're going to leave it there.
Woo!
And then we will bring you our hoop-de-doo review next episode. And we're actually also going to talk a little bit about Sea World because Kailyn didn't come home with us.
She did.
What's up with that?
Yeah, it was super sweet. So, and it's so funny when she says, like, you know, when other kids call you, like Miss Rhonda, or so, you know.
I love it.
Kendall, I do
it's
too.
Adorable.
It is cute. I told Kendall she doesn't have to, but she'd Miss Rhonda, and that's fine. But it was super funny because Brian is Kendall's dad and was picking her up because he's a pilot and flies commercially. And is actually down in different places. And so he was going to be down in Orlando. And he was like, oh, I'll just pick her up Sunday instead of you coming all the way home, because he was already going to be down here. So he was picking her up. They were going to Sea World, and then they were going to Aquatica tomorrow. And then they're coming home because the girls have school stuff on Tuesday, and then school starts Wednesday. I know, it's crazy. So Brian was coming, and I was like, well, we can wait for Brian. And then show him where you slept and show him the camper.
Give him a tour of the camper. That was fun.
And then Kailyn kept Mr. Brian and kind of kept saying that, which I thought was funny. Well, then he kind of pulls me aside and he's like, hey, you know, because we've kept Kendall a few times.
Yeah, we took her to Westgate Lakes and went to Universal and all.
Yep.
Because she's the best.
She is.
She's awesome.
And
we're very fortunate that our girls have really great friends.
100%. So with all that being said, Brian was like, I can take Kailyn if you want. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, well, how much? Because he's like, I can
they're Sea World pass holders, right?
He goes, I can get her a day ticket today for Sea World and then Aquatica tomorrow for a total of $70. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. I was like, let me Venmo you. And of course, he's super sweet. And he's like, no, don't worry about it because you've taken Kendall. So I mean, I felt bad for Kailyn because she was super excited to get home and kind of do nothing.
She just wanted to see Taco.
Well, she's just that type too that likes a few.
She's a homebody.
She is. She likes to do nothing.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, apart from Lacey where she did a lot of dance and stuff, I'm like, Kailyn, and I tried to tell her this, but I was like, you did a lot of nothing this summer. So it was just super funny because we're like, all right, you got to like now.
Yeah, make a decision.
You got to make a decision.
Are you going?
So she's like, okay, yeah. And
I'm so glad she did.
I am
super
too.
excited for her. I'm super jealous right now.
I know. She had her contacts, so she put those in real quick. She changed into shorts instead of like her just regular tank and almost pajama bottoms. And then I was like, all right, and you got another pair because she was like, well, I don't want to wear my contacts because they're throwaways.
Dailies, yeah.
So she had some that I was like, put those in, put these in for the water park tomorrow. Yeah. So she was all set because her glasses, I'm like, you're going to A, lose them, B, you won't be able to really see anyways.
Right.
Just
especially
put those
with all the
contacts
coasters.
in.
So we'll have her. So we'll talk on Friday all about Hoop-de-Doo, which is so good to be back. It just came back here in, I think, end of June or something. It was like June 23rd or something like that. We had a super wonderful time. It was just Rhonda and I. It was
Yeah.
an awesome date night for us to get out. And we'll talk all about that on Friday. And then we'll have Kailyn guest and tell us all about Sea World because we have not been there in a very long time.
Yep.
It is something we're looking to do in the future. Just haven't yet. Let's go because I feel like we've kind of been all over. We haven't had a lot of order in this episode, but we really didn't do a lot of notes. Let's talk about Friday morning because you and I did decide to go ahead and take the boat, best transportation ever, over to Magic Kingdom for the morning for a little bit.
Yep.
What did we do over there? What was our main goal?
Well, our main goal
for showing up to Magic Kingdom.
Well, our main goal was, which actually first when we got there, let me back completely up to Thursday.
Beep, beep, beep.
We got there and our camper wasn't going to be ready until like probably noon or 1. So we
Which
went
is
ahead.
awesome, by the way. Like,
it was.
I will say this, it's great. Camper Renter Adventures and Dawn and her crew and all over there, they basically say, do online check-in, request 7 a.m. arrival, and they say, if your site is not ready by 9 a.m., here is a direct line to call Disney front desk and tell them that we are bringing you a camper and they want the site ready as soon as possible. So a lot of times you have the possibility of getting in earlier, and then you have that entire day ahead of you. I mean, our camper was ready by noon.
Yes.
When we were at Disney Springs.
Yeah, so we sat by Disney Springs because we got down there earlier. Also super funny, not funny, but praise God the turkeys were already dead. But apparently this truck, so we went, it was the weirdest way. We went completely opposite way than
60 miles south of the I-4 exit off 95.
We went basically towards Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
So there was a fire that caught on a turkey.
Turkeys?
I think it was over 1,000 turkeys.
Yeah.
But they were all frozen and they were just being transported. And anyways, so that kind of rerouted us, took us a little bit. Then we were going to stop.
Tell them what you were texting me that the girl said about the turkey.
Oh, it was super funny because like we're on this road and I hear it and I'm like, oh my gosh, girls, this is the way why we went this way. And the girls were like, oh, the poor turkeys. And I was voice texting to Jeremy and he said, actually, they were all dead and they were like frozen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, good. And then it was super funny because we saw turkeys all over Fort Wilderness.
Well,
but
then
anyways,
you said, I bet that area smells delicious, right? Or
that's
is that what the person on the radio said?
That's she said what happened. She said, I would say avoid that area. She goes, but I bet it smells delicious.
That's funny.
It was.
Big Thanksgiving driving down I-4.
Yeah. So anyways, after that, we finally got to Disney Springs, which was around 10:30, 11, which we should have, if we would have gone I-4 and everything would have been fine, we would have probably been there a little before or right at 10, basically.
Yeah.
So we got there around 10:30 or so. Kendall's grandma gave her a Disney gift card. So the girls wanted to go shopping. Super fun. We did. They all kind of got some stuff. We went.
Tickets are not on sale yet for our Main Street 16 Challenge weekend for the Friday event, but I'll go ahead and say right now where it is. I'm not going to give any other details. We're hoping tickets will be on sale this week. There's going to be 2 options, a regular ticket, a VIP ticket. I'm going to tell you right now, we are super excited. Signed a contract on it. Got to meet Peter, who is the event coordinator, and see the space for our Friday trivia contest and our live panel with Scott and Michelle from the Main Street Mouse, hosted by a celebrity guest, to be determined. We will be having it at Stargazer Lounge. It's the outside bar area at Planet Hollywood, and we got to see the space, and it is awesome.
Yep.
And we're super duper excited.
Yep.
So get your room block now. Get it at the Wyndham. Get in. Go to mainstreet16.com. Go ahead and fill out the little form to tell us you're coming, and we will let you know as soon as tickets are on sale for the event, but you are not going to want to miss it. It's going to be awesome.
So then after that, we were mainly going over to go see World of Disney, see if there was anything we needed, which there was so many new Haunted Mansion stuff that I felt like I needed.
That whole new line is amazing. You're getting the Crocs, aren't you, at some point?
Probably. And it's not even Halloween. Like,
It is Halloween on Friday.
Well,
Rhonda.
I just started to say this coming Friday is going to be Halloween because we are going to be at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And with all that being said, there'll be more merch, I'm sure. So
yes. This isn't even Halloween merch. This is Haunted
true.
Mansion. They're just bringing it out around this time.
Wow, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's flipping awesome. So anyways, but the main reason we were there after World of Disney, we were headed over to Pen Traders to get your Magic Band Plus. They are out. They are fun. I am very excited. We have one each. Jeremy went ahead and got Darth Vader. I got the princesses. I was on live with Wonderland Crew and was like, should I get mom or princesses? And I had Wonderland Crew friends tell me the princesses. So I got that. Super cool. You know, your Magic Band, what was it, 2?
Yeah, you'd call it Magic Band 2.
I mean, what is it? My After Pass, my Magic Band Plus was $38.
Yeah, for a design.
I loved it.
I was paying $40, $50, and upwards of $60 for limited edition Magic Band 2s.
And I love it. It lights up. It vibrates. It was fun in the park. I was a little sad because I didn't know completely about it. So when you have it, you do probably want to open your Play Park in the Disney app to do all of that. I did wave to it was super cool. I waved to the statues and they spoke to me. Loved it. Stitch was my first. It was amazing. Ohana played. It was super cool.
We each have a band on the way. So we actually pre-ordered them. Day they came out, we pre-ordered with our resort stay because we're staying at Coronado on Friday here.
So we should be getting
back Disney weekends. I think they're coming tomorrow. Monday. We're recording on Sunday afternoon. I got a Mickey one coming with like some fireworks designs. And who do you got?
Yep. Stitch.
Of course you do.
I love it. So excited.
You know, the biggest complaint I see with these is people think they're so expensive. And like I just said, they're not. You could pay almost the same price. You're maybe paying a little bit more than a standard Magic Band with a design. And okay, are you going to, every time you go to a park, I'm going to go interact with statues? Probably not. But I think it's worth even the initial time.
Well, and this was a staycation, so we really didn't get to interact with it. Kat actually stayed for the fireworks, and apparently they interact with that too, which is super cool.
Yeah.
I look very much forward to this coming weekend to use it.
Yeah, we'll get to use it a lot more because we're staying at Coronado. We're doing the Halloween party.
Correct. I will be wearing my Stitch for this the whole time.
For sure.
Just because I was very excited about this one. It is a white band, whereas the princess is cute and pink. And super cute. And I might bring it and change it and interchange it, but I have a feeling I won't, and I'll just completely wear my Stitch. But anyways,
so do you think they're worth it?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome.
I had
too.
such a good time with using it. I flipping loved when I literally would wave at a statue, and Daisy freaking said, "Hey, good to see you," or whatever she said, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool!" And yes, I'm 43 years old, and I was wigging out and thinking that was so fun. And like I said, I might not do it every time, but then hey, if I'm by it, I might just wave real quick and hey, I just want to hear her talk because it is cool. Yeah, I love it.
And you do have to charge it. You're going to want to charge it each night. I know that's another complaint, but
okay, who doesn't charge a phone at night?
That's how I feel. You just put it with your phone and your watch and whatever else. If the Magic Band air quote dies, it's not going to have the interactivity and the light up and vibration, but it still has an RFID chip in it that will still open your room. You can still charge to the resort. You can still do everything the traditional Magic Band does. So
see, it's Magic Band 2 Plus.
Yeah. I really, really enjoy them. We're going to sign off with one final little review. Is there any sort of new sweet treat that you would recommend at the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor on Main Street? Because we got something.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was super cool. It was called a Main Street Float. And
we had to get that.
Yeah, because it's our name.
Yeah.
And I wanted something sweet, and we were looking, and we walked by the Dole Whips, and we walked by, and we did get the pastrami.
Oh, yeah. Talk about the pastrami egg rolls at the Adventureland cart.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a huge fan.
I guess we completely got off track of.
I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. Yeah, I don't even know what we're
camper rental.
I think we covered most of what we need to with the campground. We've done a lot of episodes on
We
the
have.
campground.
I might
in the
go back a
past.
little bit for the camper in a
Okay.
minute. But anyways, so pastrami was pastrami, and it was pepper jack cheese inside. I thought it was good because there's mustard dipping sauce. Jeremy did feel like there needed to be a dipping sauce.
But
Unfortunately,
I don't eat mustard.
he's not going to eat mustard. He took one. Would you took 2 bites?
Yeah, I took 2, but I'll be honest, I don't know that I like pastrami.
Oh,
If I'm being
see,
honest, I
do.
just don't know if I really like
Okay.
pastrami. I thought to me, I got no cheese whatsoever. I would have liked
I
a
agree.
gooey. I would have liked to be
didn't-
able to break it open and have your cheese string. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
And pepper jack is a spicy.
no spice.
And I didn't get any spice, so it was a little sad. But anyways, I ate it. Fantastic. So then I wanted a little something sweet since we were still there. And that's when I got the Main Street float. It is a root beer float,
It's
basically.
our first time we've ever been to the Main Street ice cream parlor, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that we've ever gotten anything
because the
from
lines
there.
usually are super
It's
long.
usually insane. And
They're
we walked
literally
right in.
walked right
Yeah.
in and rocked right to the
It wasn't
late
bad at Magic Kingdom
cast
Friday
member.
morning. We walked on to Haunted
yeah.
and we walked on to Pirates.
Yep. But then we were gonna stand in line for Splash, but it was gonna be over 30 for
It
sure.
looked-
Like
it
probably
looked-
45.
yeah. It was
to an
winding all the
hour.
way outside.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and do Splash Friday night during Mickey's Not So Scary
Mhm.
because it could be our last.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ride's going away. We're not going anywhere. We're good.
So anyways, and then so the float, back to the float. Jeremy didn't let me explain it all. It's basically a root beer float with whipped cream, small chocolate little like what are those called?
They're little chips.
Little
they're
chips,
like
chocolate
the little
chips,
like
tiny ones.
Yeah, morsels. You know what
Yes.
they call them?
Yes. And peanut
Yeah.
butter.
And peanut butter.
And then caramel corn.
Yeah.
And just that whole like concoction was fantastic. I loved it.
It's for me. It is tough
you-
to beat a root beer float.
Yeah.
I love root beer is easily my favorite soda. I
Mhm.
don't really drink soda. I'm off of caffeine, so root beer is a good one because they're caffeine free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just that combination of ice cream and root beer on
So
its
good.
own is unbelievable. I loved the crunch of the peanut butter and the chocolate chips.
Mm-hmm.
The caramel corn, I didn't feel added a ton to it,
I liked it. I thought it was
but it was
cool.
good.
Mm-hmm.
But this was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I did not have much. I was just trying not to. You had most of it. I had
Yes.
1 or 2 bites
Yep.
and I had a sip of the root beer.
Yep.
Again, we sat
So
right
good.
there for a minute. It is 100 degrees outside. Feels like temps of 110. That root beer with ice cream was so super duper refreshing.
Yep.
I would get that again and again, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah, it was good. And then basically after that, we went back home to the camper, and again, that camper was super fun. Just having the whole bunks in the back for the girls. There was 3 beds. We thought there was 4. That is the whole way I told the girls that they could bring a friend. I was like, girls, there's 4 beds in the back, and they were like, oh. Because it took a second, but they got it, and they were like, "We can bring a friend." And I was like, "Yep."
Yeah, this was supposed to be our rare family of 4 trip because we never get to go just the 4 of us and do
Yeah,
anything
but
anymore.
Again, our ages
they
of our
would have been
children,
miserable.
they
So
not
we
so
were like,
much
you know
miserable,
what?
but they had so much fun.
They had a blast.
So,
oh,
with all that being said, the bunks were single. The bottom had a couch that folded out, so it basically made it like a full bed.
Mhm.
And Cassidy and Lacey have slept in full beds plenty of times. So the first night, I was like, "All right, girls, if you don't sleep good, the other couch in the living room folds down, and the table folds down, so we can figure out another sleeping way."
Yeah.
So, and they were fine. So it was awesome. So they had this whole back area. The bathroom was back there. And then, you had this nice U-shaped round table that you kind of hung out at. We got to eat, and then they had a couch, and then the kitchen was just wonderful. Nice big sink, and we used the oven, we used the stove.
Yeah.
They had a nice fireplace that actually puts off electric heat.
Yep.
I didn't need it, so you can turn it all the way to like basically heat will come on if it is 60
Mhm.
and I was not 60
No,
in
it
the
was
camper.
not. But boy, did that AC work
It did.
perfectly.
And then you had a nice Roku TV with Disney Plus and all, and then our queen bed.
That was awesome because they were logged in to their accounts, the camper rental adventures,
which was nice.
If we didn't have Disney Plus, which obviously we do, we could have still watched Disney Plus,
which was nice.
You don't even get that in the Disney rooms, man. How Disney has not taken advantage of free Disney Plus.
Yeah.
To hook you if you don't already have it in their rooms is insane to me. But I thought that was super cool. It was weird. I saw I can't remember exactly what they said. I saw earlier on Twitter, somebody was basically saying, like, can we normalize having a spot to sit in any hotel room that isn't your bed? And this has that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we could literally all hang
nice.
out. You and I sit on the couch. The 4 girls were around the U-shaped table.
Yep.
I mean, again, even when Athena and David were there, we had 8 people comfortably in this camper hanging out while I was finishing up dinner. And then the girls wanted to eat outside. So Athena was like, well, let's go sit outside with the girls.
Yep.
And we had plenty of room outside because there's a picnic table that's going to seat 6 to 8. We had the 4 chairs. We brought some of our own chairs. Like, I'm so excited for Coronado. I love Coronado. It's just you and I going.
Amazing.
This would be hard to pass up on doing multiple times a year. I would like to do it during a November, December, January, February.
Yes.
Renting a fire pit, through Camper Rental Adventures to add on to it. Definitely having that golf cart. The scavenger hunt is so fun.
Yeah,
we took a bunch of stuff to hide. So we hid a whole bunch of stuff. We had one. I'm so sorry. I should have marked their name down. We actually hid a bracelet that Lacey had made. And not long after, we get a photo under that post in the Scavenger Hunt Facebook group of a sweet little girls that had found it. And they apparently are listeners of the podcast.
That was cool.
Then they ended up hiding a Tinkerbell long sleeve shirt that we went and found for you.
Yeah. And it was a girl's extra large. And that's like, and it's so that shirt that like I'll wear a tank underneath it and put that on. And I love it.
It is so much fun. And yeah, I probably wouldn't maybe recommend if you're going, hey, we're going to Disney and we're going hard. Like we're going rope drop till park close. This probably isn't the time to do that. Go ahead and get yourself at an All-Star or a Pop Century on the Skyliner.
100%.
If you're going, you know what? We want a little more of a relaxed vacation. We're APs or we're going to be there for a week, but we only bought 3 days of park tickets or whatever. I think this is one of the best options you can possibly ever do.
I agree.
And it will be the most fun and unique vacation you have ever had. I guarantee it.
Yep.
And if you think you're not someone for camping,
Hey,
Kat was like, I'd stay in that.
I just started to say, hey, ladies, this was glamping.
Glamping.
This was amazing. Like, I did my hair. I did my makeup.
I can fit in the shower.
Jeremy can fit in the shower.
Comfortably.
But it is something. And it was neat because, again, wonderlandcrew.com, we live all this stuff if you want to check it out. And when we were, Kat, and literally, I had other people going, I don't camp, but wait, I might do that. Yeah. And I'm like, it's super cool. And it's because it is like having a hotel room that you can go back to.
Yeah.
And just a lot bigger, really.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I absolutely loved our pop-up. I miss it, but boy, was it a lot of work. It was one of those where I'll never forget because it was always this. All right, we're going camping. Let me get my setup outfit on. Because there's no chance, even if it was in December, there's no chance you weren't going to be sweating your butt off by the time you're done spending an hour setting this sucker up.
Yeah.
The fact that you just show up and they take care of the rest was unbelievable. I'm already super excited. I think we'd be hard pressed to go without the girls and do this again because I feel like they would need to bring friends. But Rhonda and I may look at a time in the cooler months where we get one of their campers on the smaller size that is more for just the two of us and give that a shot because I want to do this again. Like I probably was looking forward to this trip more than any other trip I can remember in recent history. And like we're going to Disney Friday and I'm so thankful.
I am too, but
I woke up this morning. I was sad.
Yeah. And I love that we had the friends, but I will say I'm still looking, I think the most forward to is our cruise because that is literally just the 4 of us.
And a bunch of friends.
Okay.
But not in the same room.
But right. I mean, it's just, I'm super excited about that as a family and for Kailyn to like hang out with us and just, I don't know. I really enjoyed Kailyn a lot this weekend, even though she did have her friends. And
she gets a little fourth wheeled. I know that's not an actual thing. It's a third wheel, but she gets a little fourth wheeled out sometimes when the other three girls kind of get going.
Mhm.
She's kind of the one that can take on the brunt of whatever's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had an absolute blast. I know Rhonda just mentioned wonderlandcrew.com. Go ahead and check that out. We got Mickey's Not So Scary coming Friday. We will be back at Coronado Springs for the first time in what feels like forever. We're going with our friends Karen and Ashley, who are bringing their 7-year-old daughter. So I'm very excited to see her perspective of Mickey's Not So Scary. She's never been. Of course, the girls are not going with us this trip. We got Labor Day weekend coming up. We'll be at the Swan. We'll be doing Topolino's with an awesome Wonderland Crew gathering of 10 people. We've got the cruise coming up in September. We're going to be at DizCon at the weekend after. We're super excited to bring all that to you.
Oh my goodness.
We've got a lot coming up.
We do.
So you, of course, can catch all of this in some way, shape, or form at mainstmagic.com, at mainstmagic on all the social channels. If you want to see it live, as it's happening, you can check out wonderlandcrew.com. Hit subscribe, get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And as always, we'd be super thankful if you'd leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.